Hello, everyone. This is Peter G., the head of Timore Enterprises and the creator of One True Pairing and Birds of Praise. I warn those of you who are listening to this that there's going to be some very adult language here. I do swear. I swear quite a bit. My dad was Navy and my grandpa was a union worker. I know some of you who have seen the Birds of Praise trailer are like, what, a devout Christian who swears? Fucking A, I swear. So the reason for this little posting here concerns where's the fair use movement on YouTube, and it is something that I want to support. I have been trying to figure out what the best way to do it is, and unfortunately nothing is coming to mind other than making a video and putting it up on my channel. For those of you who actually sit through the end credits of One True Pairing, or have seen the credit pages of my comic books and the Hannah Singer books and stuff, you see that I affirm fair use. I do specifically mention that fair use is okay in the copyright notice on my projects. And it's because it's always struck me as kind of rum that fair use is out there, but people refuse to acknowledge it. They think if they can ignore it, it will go away. Well, in the past month, maybe 2 months possibly, on YouTube, we have seen fair use become the center of a lot of controversy. And this is actually kind of depressing when you consider the fact that it wasn't that long ago that YouTube created the Fair Use Protection Program. It was, if I'm remembering correctly, because there were a few details that weren't easy to come by. I don't remember if it was for creators or for specific videos, one from a different creator, that YouTube put under this umbrella of protection and said that anybody that wants to take these videos down needs to actually go through a court process, and YouTube was pledging $1 million in court fees to defend each of these instances, and they were holding them up as examples of fair use and things that you cannot have taken down with a copyright claim. And at the time, a lot of people, one of the people who was the recipient of this, in fact, is the Jimquisition, which he's gotten a lot of grief over the years, so I was glad to see him get protection. But at the same time, I was wondering, what more is there? There has to be more to this. This can't be over this easily. And sure enough, there hasn't been. Fair use has actually been under assault on YouTube for a while now. It has started with basically people just looking to jack with each other's channels. They'll file false flags and, we got you good. And it started reaching its peak with the Let's Players, who would try to flag each other's videos to get the competition taken off the air. And this eventually spread to game publishers, who would start going after reviewers and would file a copyright claim against them. There was one review site in particular, I'm not going to mention its name, but trust me, they're easy to find out who they are. A lot of people bitched about them, who would take down reviews from competitors by telling YouTube they had the exclusive rights to review this video game, so these people were violating their legal rights, and the videos got struck. Now, at the time, it was annoying, but it was manageable, because basically what the publishers and everybody were doing were trying to get rid of the dissenting opinions for that crucial opening sales period. And then by the time the strike was rescinded from the account, the reviews would go up, everything would be fine, their account would be back, and there wouldn't be any penalties or anything. But the review would be down for just long enough that anybody that did a search on YouTube looking for reviews of this game would only see the glowing reviews, some of whom were actually in the game publisher's pockets and, receiving free swag and stuff in exchange for their glowing praise. So this has actually been going on for a while now, but it's not just publishers that are doing this. There are also other problems involving YouTube. I'm a fan of the show Classic Game Room, hosted by Mark Bussler. He was, in fact, one of the first YouTube shows that I watched regularly. I loved the guy's style. I loved his approach. And basically another thing that I appreciated about him that I didn't get from a lot of other reviewers was He wasn't about anger, and he wasn't about drama. There are some people that, I don't like, angry reviews and all that jazz. It's just not me. Bustler had done a review of Gran Turismo 3, and it had been up for years. And then it got pulled by YouTube for a copyright violation. Turns out, because the review had, Gran Turismo 3 has a song by Snoop Dogg in it. And the song got into the review because, it's a review of the game. And Bustler said, it's been fine all these years. Not only that, but it's a journalistic review. This is covered by fair use. As far as I'm aware, YouTube has never changed its mind on this to the point where he had to recut the review and re-upload it without the Snoop Dogg song for something that he was within his legal rights to do. And this is continuing. Now it's starting to spread as content creators as studios are finding out. Basically, they're taking a page from the video game playbook. When Adam Sandler's Pixels came out, and goddamn, that was a horrible movie. Save your money. Don't take it from me. I took the bullet for you. You don't want to watch this. It's shit. And when the movie came out and all the bad reviews were coming out, Sony started copyright flagging videos with Pixels in the title. And one of the things that they got was their own trailer. And this was on Dailymotion. A lot of people talk about Dailymotion as this promised land now that YouTube is starting to go down the shitter. It's not. The Pixels thing alone proves that they will knuckle under if the circumstances are right. So there is no real promised land out there. I know that Blip TV for a long time was the haven of this, and where people could do these things and they didn't have to worry about it. Now, though, with YouTube, part of what is fueling this drive towards things like multi-channel networks, multi-channel networks try to sell you on all these different advantages that they have. And the biggest one that you can honestly say that they can offer you is legal protection, that they can actually contact YouTube, because going through the standard form, check out Doug Walker, the Nostalgia Critic. He got a strike and actually saw his monetization taken away, limits on his account, so he couldn't upload more than the standard 15 minutes and so on. They were getting conflicting information about how to go through the appeals process. And even the appeals process is dicey because it can take a long time. And if you get too many strikes, then you even lose your right to appeal. It is very easy for this to be abused. And a lot of places are starting to take advantage of this. This is where people ask me, because I've been talking about trying to say something about this for a while now. And they have said, well, because especially at the time of the Fair Use Protection Act, why am I talking about this? Because my stuff, most of the people that are getting nailed are reviewers. Some of them use clips. Some of them don't use clips. Doug Walker points out there's one guy who got copyright strikes from the studio, even though his video was just him and his friends sitting in the car after the movie and talking about the movie. No clips, no copyright material, anything like that. They still got the strike. Leave us not forget the Fine brothers, who recently tried to basically hijack the entire concept of React videos. And oh boy. I still say that had the React brothers tried this like a couple of years ago, they probably would have gotten away with it. But with things like I Hate Everything's channel getting unceremoniously deleted and then returned without so much as a by your leave, as far as I'm aware, he still has not gotten an explanation for what exactly happened and why his entire channel got deleted. And that's the thing, because true, I am not in the review camp. I'm not doing reviews. I'm not doing top 10 lists. And I don't like drama, so I don't get mixed up with a lot of these people that are, having their little flame wars back and forth through YouTube. Oh, and before I forget, also don't forget, YouTube was also the one that, despite the fact that the downfall videos, the Hitler rants, those were protected parody, and they got rid of most of those too while they were at it. And you actually had to do some legal wrangling in order to get your video back up. The problem is this. a lot of these copyright strikes are happening for bogus reasons. It's just because there's no repercussions. If you file a false claim, they don't come after you. They don't do anything. Everybody's a target. There was a recent court case where the appellate court, and it was represented by the Electronic Frontier Foundation. Shout out to you guys. I love you guys. I've been ever since I got involved in the free open source software movement. I've been familiar with you, and I applaud your efforts. And in their court case, the judge affirmed that anybody that brings a fair use claim, that brings a claim of copyright infringement, has to weigh fair use. Well, that clearly isn't happening because the takedown system is automatic. It's a computer algorithm. It is, once again, there are no repercussions if you file a false claim. It's just, the video's back up, so, no hard feelings. Even though the false flaggers can potentially seize your revenue stream from the videos during the time that you have the copyright strike in place. YouTube needs to address this. After all, they thought it was important enough to start the Fair Use Protection Program, and they even said that they were looking to expand the program in the future. It wouldn't be just these 4 videos. Because, once again, we all are potential targets. One True Pairing, for those of you who really enjoy that show, it is a parody, but we have seen that parody might not be protected and that they will cave if the rights holders swing their dick around enough. And I mean, when it comes to things like legal interpretations, lawyers get rich arguing what this shit means. So they can find all kinds of precedents and somehow twist it. And if you don't have a multi-channel network with a really sharp legal team and with really good access to YouTube, because I know a couple of commentators, they're part of multi-channel networks that are really, really dynamic, and they pulled their bacon out of the fire on more than one occasion. If you're thinking of joining an MCN, or an MCN because you think it's going to help expand your channel and stuff like that because they're going to promote you, keep in mind they have like 10,000 channels. Where are they going to find the time to promote you? The only real benefit of an MCN would be the legal angle. But it shouldn't even have to come down to that because this is very much a system that is shoot first and ask questions later. The tide needs to turn because this is illegal. Fair use is the law. Reviews are perfectly legit. Opinion is perfectly legit. But you have a lot of people that recognize that YouTube isn't really paying attention. They're just letting an automated system do things, and they are taking an unfair advantage of that. I'm not sure if there's like a central hub of information about this or like a starting point for everything. I know that Doug Walker, the Nostalgia Critic, he kicked things off with his Where's the Fair Use hashtag. And it's been spreading. I've been seeing it's made it onto Alpha Omega Sin, to Mundane Matt. It is spreading around. Becky Boop is doing it. Because when the internet is on the same page, things happen. And we've seen YouTube change policies and everything when the outcry gets big enough. And this is one time the outcry does need to get big enough. And that's the reason I am adding my voice to this. So far, I'm in the clear because I'm not a reviewer. I'm not using copyrighted material or any of that stuff. I would basically be in the same boat as, say, Glove and Boots, which can do parody and stuff like that. There's a reason that the music that I feature in my projects is all officially licensed. Because I know there's a lot of music groups and right holders that will pounce on you without even thinking. Warner Brothers is especially notorious for this. There's a website called MuggleNet, which is for Harry Potter fans, and they would raise funds to keep the site going and stuff like that, and for like movie premieres and that by selling MuggleNet T-shirts. And Warner Brothers sued them, saying that violated their copyright and trademark, Muggle. Even though J.K. Rowling was cool with it, Scholastic and Bloomsbury were cool with it, everybody was fine with it, but Warner Brothers wasn't, and they managed to get them to stop selling MuggleNet T-shirts, even though it's MuggleNet, not Muggle, and all the rest of the stuff. And never mind the fact that you can go on eBay, and one cannot swing one's dead cat without hitting copyright infringing merch on there. I mean, Jesus Christ, you can get body pillows of underage Japanese anime girls in the nude, which violates child pornography laws and stuff like that. You can get that everywhere, but Warner Brothers dropped the hammer on MuggleNet. Good going. It's an issue that will eventually start claiming more and more, especially as you start seeing your influence become more prominent because they do not want dissent. Everyone says there's no such thing as bad publicity. Well, clearly there is, because people are trying to get rid of it. People are trying to silence contrarianism, and it has to stop. And so that is the reason that I am throwing my support behind the Where's the Fair Use campaign. Because sooner or later this will affect me. You never know what's going to happen. And in fact, this part here that I'm talking right now, I am editing this in because while I was talking, I got a new microphone. Those of you who have seen the One True Pairing videos are going to notice a big difference in the voice quality here. And it's really sensitive. I mean, it can pick up the compressor on my refrigerator while I'm recording. The old microphone couldn't do that. And one of the things, as I was talking, my cell phone went off. My cell phone ringtone is Under the Sea from the movie The Little Mermaid. It's in the background. It's technically fair use. Ba 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 ba. Doesn't matter. It's still potentially a legal headache. Somebody might say, "Oh, the Little Mermaid song is in this video. We have a problem with that." AT&T was sued by record companies over cell phone ringtones because they said that people who set favorite songs as ringtones, that is a public performance, and they are owed royalties for that. And AT&T managed to win, but still, they tried. Oh my God. And like I said, there are people who will not do certain things or try certain things because they're aware of the legal headache that's waiting for them. And especially if you're a content creator that is making your living on YouTube, that can destroy you. So if you enjoy consuming things, if you enjoy the different media that's on YouTube, it affects you even if you're just a viewer. So we all need to come together on this. We all need to stand up for it. And I officially put my support behind the Where's the Fair Use campaign. Thank you, and God bless.